Video lessons don't always do a good job of explaining what the red pill does. In other words, the red pill has many moving parts, and it can be difficult to figure out which method works best. You've certainly read a lot of theories about the nature of women in gaming and other media, but I thought that by making this video I could bring you some new perspectives on the subject, because if they did receive it, could be very important to some people. Help with precise instructions on how to take birth control pills. Here we go. First, squat down. Before you start lifting weights, check that your form is correct. If you don't change your harmful behavior, you run the risk of injuring yourself in other ways, whether by straining a muscle, pinching a nerve, or some other type of injury. Sloping shoulders are one of the specific difficulties that need to be addressed. It is common for right-handed people to have the right shoulder lower than the left. This problem occurs because the person's back muscles are underdeveloped, in addition to the more developed pectoral muscles on the right side compared to the left side. Continue reading. If your left shoulder is higher than your right shoulder, that's one. If your left shoulder is lower than your right, you should adjust your approach. I want you to handle this situation on my behalf. You can try practicing some shoulder rests on the jam to strengthen your weaker shoulders. The next exercise in the sequence involves raising the front and side shoulders with dumbbells. The chest fly is another great chest strength exercise that can be done with a bar if you can. If you try to start with the lightest possible weight, it will feel underweight. As the weight gradually increases, you should start to feel its effects. This is usually harder for lefties. It's important to keep your workouts at this weight until both sides are at an equally difficult difficulty level. Now that you know how to position your shoulders, you can check out classes on how to correct your posture and how to stretch to make strength training more manageable. Spending too much time in front of electronic media can lead to symptoms such as head tilt or hypnosis, which many young people experience today, including some I personally know. You should try to spend some time stretching your lower back and working on strengthening your core. The most effective way to increase rectus abdominis strength is to go uphill or do sit-ups, if the Lord wishes. The next step is to adjust your posture before starting a basic strength training program, such as the Strumlift 5x5 or Strength Start. After using the above technique for a few months, you should notice an improvement in your posture, which should continue. You can improve muscle strength in the back and abdominal area. By doing this, you can give them the impression that you are more confident and confident. Strengthen muscle mass over time when you start strength training with small isolation movements rather than big compound movements. When you focus on curls, when you only work the muscles you see in the mirrored increase will occur naturally. They lose all their proportions and look ugly when they are mature. Pay attention to proportions and do your best to keep things in check. Also remember the importance of lifting weights, as this activity is necessary to consume the red pill. You didn't pass the first part of the red pill exam because you didn't read it. If you decide to give up at this point, it's not a problem. The presentation phase is the second step. You should wait until you've worked hard to improve your posture before buying new clothes. Look up. If you're a chubby jerk, you shouldn't be humble until your pants fall, and even then, don't stop until you fool yourself into thinking you have shallow abs. If you're a skinny idiot, buy modesty. As soon as your pants start to slide down, you can go shopping. When you're done, think about how you might react to different brands of clothing based on how they make you feel. If you're lucky, here are a few cheap outlet stores. Your future will be filled with fashion brands like Tommy Hilfiger. If you limit your purchases to basic items like short-sleeved t-shirts and button-down shirts, you can buy an entire wardrobe for nearly $300. If you want your sleeves to be comfortable to wear, you should wait until your breasts are as inflated as possible before wearing them. No matter what you wear, you will never look decent. Let your appearance reflect your interests and your lifestyle. Have you and a group of your friends got into the habit of riding motorcycles on weekends? A motorcycle jacket is recommended. Do you often wear expensive suits to meet other investment brokers in fancy New York City bars? Do you make a living in the field of car maintenance and repair? A pair of jeans and a t-shirt are the basic necessities you need to find out. Avoid making the mistake your friend made when he first read this article. You should act naturally. A more modern style might make you feel more confident. Replace old items in your wardrobe with newer items one at a time. Before you get used to your new look, you need to give your new look more opportunities to prove yourself. In just a few days, you won't even want to wear your old wardrobe. The mission itself comes into play as the third and final phase. Your life becomes a mission. Think about it. If you die next year, what kind of legacy do you want to leave behind? No one can expect everyone to be a force for positive change in the world. But everyone can expect everyone to find something they truly love and use that passion to create work of the highest standard. Do you know Khan Academy? His main goal in life is to teach himself. He is in a league of his own compared to the millions of other educators in the world whose sole motive is financial gain. If you are determined, your mission will define who you are and what you stand for in this world. In short, it's the most efficient way to connect with other people who share your interests. Thanks to this task, you'll have the opportunity to connect with new friends and deepen the connections you have already established. Be careful when choosing. The fourth point is that your frame of reference is how you see yourself. Are you a relaxed, confident, fun, and awesome person? If yes, how would you define yourself? Do you have outstanding intellect and keen intellect? You must develop an alpha personality by emphasizing traits such as perseverance, a rich mindset, and a high value system. Check that you have followed steps 1 through 3 and that your clean frame accurately reflects your personality and any other unique traits you possess. Eliminate any imperfections that may exist in your appearance. Many studies focus only on determining if your body is healthy. Structurally, does it bother you that she prefers men over 6 feet over shorter men? Your ability to remain calm under stress is severely impaired. After she cancels the date, insists that she explain her decision. Her image of being full has just been shattered. Always give the impression that you are a man by showing masculinity. If you have absolutely no idea what I'm talking about, you should try watching one of my videos. The entire hemisphere can be read like a book on the topic of games. You can learn all about it, but Pan's 16 commandments neatly summarize its core principles. I believe that the easiest rule when reaching out to women in your social circle is to ignore them until you've had much success. I say this because I believe that is the case. Commit to self-improvement after becoming a monk. If women of all kinds feel they can open up to you about their thoughts and feelings, rest assured that your SMV is high. Men with low quality are often ignored by women. Men of lower rank looking for slashes on them are considered odd by their standards. After making a name for yourself in the dating world as your ideal man, all you have to do is wait for the lady to notice and start talking to you. These checks are absolutely necessary. If a woman doesn't seem to know you exist, don't hesitate to approach her and introduce yourself, even if she doesn't seem to know you exist. Forget typical pickup lines and ABS. All you have to do is introduce yourself and start a conversation with someone you are interested in. My dad just hinted at possible job openings in town. After all this, she wasn't worth it at all. Ignore them in any way. If you meet her again, she may be more willing to communicate with you, or the two of you may have a more in-depth discussion. If she starts to be nice to you, it's best to ask her out. Controlling step 6, dominating your girlfriend mentally, intellectually, and emotionally is crucial, and you should gradually pick up the pace as you get closer to her. Physically dominating your girlfriend is important. In very unusual circumstances, you can make exceptions to this rule. Maintaining regular maintenance is the 7th priority. Anyone who wants to succeed in the tarpaulin industry cannot stop learning and growing. If she doesn't change anything, she'll end up developing over tactical out of boredom. Put yourself in cognitively difficult situations, and she will never be surprised by your growth. You'll never be perfect, but that shouldn't stop you from trying to improve. Now is the time to make progress through education and self-improvement. Keeping your TARP in good shape requires constant practice of the methods that lead to your success, especially those strategies that focus on attracting wanted members. It's great, but don't forget to stick to the regular fitness regimen you developed when you were a slutty little guy in a committed relationship. Even if you don't think you can impress anyone anymore, that's not an acceptable reason to dress like a slob or show up in public in your pajamas. Is professional weight gain a good idea? If you have a lot of women who are interested in you, always keep your goals first in everything you do. This ends the debate.